Okay, low 1500s. Entirely reasonable. But if Trick Room goes up, I'm okay. So I will go Brute Bonnet. And that's not Screamtail. That's Screamtail. In this one, I think the Torkoal is actually very good. And then... it's looking like Excalibur to me. They have Quash on the Murkrow. That could be annoying. I'm sure you don't go Murkrow in the face of a Farigiraf, right? Because even if you have Taunt or Quash or whatever, that doesn't work in the face of Farigiraf. So leading Murkrow would be strange, right? Unless there's something I'm missing. And that is entirely possible at this point. If they lead the Golden Go, I have to tear out the Screamtail. I don't have to. Like, I'll live and make it rain unless it specs, I'm pretty sure. Life Orb might be close. I haven't actually done that calc yet on this much bulk. That's a cool trainer card. There is the Golden Go. So it has to be the Terra on the Screamtail, but they cannot KO the Screamtail this turn. So I will either attempt to Spore the Fluttermane or Crunch, get damage into the Golden Go. Which is better? I think it's Crunch damage into the Golden Go. Because if they Terra Water against my Torkoal, then that's not ideal. I need to make sure that I Terra Water. But they can't KO the Screamtail here. Spore into Fluttermane would have been bad against a potential substitute. That's a Terra on the Golden Go. It might be Steel. There is the Water, so that's alright. If I get this crunch damage into the Golden Go, that would put it in range of... potentially put it in range of Eruption. It'd be close. I don't have Terra Fire available anymore. But I definitely get Trick Room. There is the sub, so Spore would have been mad there. That's alright. So based on that, I think I did need to Terra, because I think that might be Specs. That's a 2-shot with just Crunch. Nice. Especially with the defense drop. Very good. So here I will Bullet Seed and Howl. And if they do protect, then that's fine, because with the defense drop and my +1 on the Howl, then Psychic Fangs would be able to KO the Golden Go. So this is alright. Even if they protect, this is still perfectly alright. But they might feel safe with their substitute up to just go on the offensive. Please do, because that would be very kind of you. Thank you. So this should KO the Fluttermane. I mean, this is assuming that I only get 4. Like, if I get 5, I definitely do. But some might be bulky enough to survive. Does it break? If it breaks with 1, then I definitely KO. Good. Yeah, so this is really good. This is exactly what Howl can do. I keep saying that. Like, I've said that multiple times across this run. Howl is great. And on this one, look at that damage. That's great. And I'm very confident the Golden Go is specs based on the damage. So if they bring that in, I know they can't protect. And they've used the Terra, so they can't Terra Grass away from a Spore from the Chi-Yu. So this is pretty good. Go on, go into Golden Go. Make it super easy. That's Great Tusk. That's perfectly acceptable as well. So, because of that, what's the best way around to do it? I have Torkoal and Excalibur waiting in the back, so... let's pull the Chi-Yu, Psychic Fangs the Great Tusk. Because that should shoot maybe two-shot the Great Tusk. It'd be close. But then if they go for an attack to be able to KO my Brute Bonnet this turn, it had to be either... well, it had to be close combat. So then, I guess I spin it technically. But like, close combat would drop their defense, and then I would definitely two-shot them. But I do, so. That's why I've got this attack investment on the Screamtail, so that I actually turn +1 Howl attacks into two-shots. Yep, there's close combat. But now I just Eruption through the team, so... so things are pretty good right now. Just Eruption and Strain Punch. And there is nothing they can do, and the Golden Go is probably in Eruption range as well anyway, so... oh no! I gave them an attack boost. But I also gave myself an attack boost, because I'm +1 with the Howl, so that means I get an attack boost. And that means I might just OHKO this Chi-Yu as well. Actually, well, I'm Eruptioning it, so I definitely KO. Like, this is game over. Unless here comes the Quick Claw, Chi-Yu, Wake Up first turn, Dark Pulse, flinch my Torkoal. Come on, accept your fate. Get on with it. If you had the Quick Claw, you would know what your out was. So just accept your fate. It's not going to be a switch in. You've already taken half. And Chi-Yu is guaranteeing that this Eruption KOs because you got minus special defense on the Golden Go as well right now. So this is a KO. Like so. And with my attack boost and the Photosynthesis, this Drain Punch is definitely KOing the Chi-Yu. Good. We'll just have to wait a little bit for this Great Tusk to be KO'd. So I'll go for Flamethrower, that will still KO. I'll go for Psych Fangs, that will KO. Oh yeah, I thought Triggerman ended. Didn't matter, Flamethrower still KOs. Didn't matter that Eruption was obviously optimal there, but oh well. I was covering for the Quick Claw and the Great Tusk. That's what I was doing. Where am I at now? 1650? Not quite. Just under. But almost top 1,000. And there's going to be some Japanese players above me as well. But this is basically halfway through my games. So this is not the worst. And that's the 1600s guy, so that's good. Okay, I feel like I've seen that team before, but there we go. So... plus main Chi-Yu, I think the Brute Bonnet Screamtail ends up being better. Then... yeah, Torkoal is very good here. And then it's just, what's the last? So Iron Hands... Iron Hands is alright, but I think it's Excalibur. My trainer card is much cooler, is what I was going for there. Oh, that's not a cheat you, Flutter Me. So... do I Spore in the face of the Shadow Ball? I think I do, because I live Specs Shadow Ball, unless they're like super heavily invested, then it's a roll. So I will attempt to just Trick Room and Spore. Grimmsnarl shouldn't do too much. Fake Out would be the worst thing. Because Fake Out and whatever they want to do is worse, but like Reflect is perfectly fine. Like, I know I'm very physical here, but that's fine. Just as in Gleam is fine, because I'm living that with Root Bonnet as well. So that's acceptable for sure. So, I believe I want to get in my Torkoal right now. So I will Spore the Grimmsnarl, and I will switch into Torkoal. One of the first times I'm hard switching into Torkoal and not actually just howling. But this seems pretty reasonable to me. If they parting shots my Torkoal, oh well. They'd be going into Amoonguss anyway. Oh no! I gave them the special attack boost. But I gave myself the attack boost as well, so it's pretty sweet. Okay, they didn't go for parting shot, that's good. Because now I can just go for Eruption and Bullet Seed into the Flutter Mane completely unopposed. I don't need to Terra Fire here, because I would KO the Flutter Mane for sure, and I probably wasn't KOing the Grimmsnarl anyway. I might have done. Do I need the Terra for anything else? Terra Grass on the Baxcalibur might be useful if Amoonguss gets into a good position, like if it Terra Waters. So I will just Bullet Seed, and I will Eruption. Without a Terra. They wake up first turn Light Screen, then alright, fine. I should still KO the Brute Bonnet. No, not Brute Bonnet. KO the Flutter Mane. I've got the Brute Bonnet. I'm not KOing my own Brute Bonnet. Better not be. Yeah, with my attack boost, I should KO this Flutter Mane. Yes, there's no question. So the Terror would have been useless on the Torkoal, so I'm content that I did not choose to go for it. It's not Amoonguss. Did they bring Amoonguss? They might not have brought Amoonguss. Well, I'm going to Bullet Seed the this to cover for a Terra Water. And I will Eruption. If they brought Amoonguss, they should have brought in Amoonguss there and Terra'd that. So, it's interesting people aren't bringing Amoonguss against me, even though I'm a Trick Room team. Terra Water, please. Thank you kindly. Always got to cover those Terras if you can. Parting shot? That's okay. Is this Amoonguss? Because if this is Amoonguss, then you don't get the option to Terra anymore, and it's taking a huge amount. Yeah, why didn't you go into that first? Like, what? So that's a lot of damage, that's Ice Shard range now. Now, does this KO through the Reflect? I got the Photosynthesis, so it'll be close. Five will do it for sure, 4 probably does. It's looking like it will. Yeah, it should. Because I always assume I'm getting 4. But I didn't, so it's fine. Like, I always assume I get 4. Like, worst case, I get 4. Even though 50% of the time I'm getting 5. So, that's good. Game is definitely over. How many turns of Trick Room? It's just one, yeah. Terrifier might tip it over the edge to KO the Amoonguss, right? But then they just might parting shot me again. Oh well, that doesn't really matter. I don't need a Terror for anything else. Because my Baxcalibur's going to clean up, so yeah, it didn't matter. So, cool. Okay, actually, like, that's top 1,000. That's significantly better than GC2. I mean, GC1 I got 1713, so... But this is alright so far. And that's the 1700s, guys, so that's what we want. That's what we want. Okay, that's a pretty standard team. Garganackle. What do I do against Garganackle? If it has Iron Defense, then I'm kind of screwed. Like, I just accepted I won't face an Iron Defense Garganackle. But... for this, Roaring Moon as well. Let's do for this one. Don't think I need my Torkoal. I think Iron Hand Screamtail should be fine. And then the top two, right? That's what I'm seeing. Interesting there's no Fluttermane. Like, Iron Bundle over Fluttermane? Is that reasonable? Like, it's perfectly fine, but is it optimal? My trainer card is much cooler. Entirely reasonable as elite. So. Terra Grass, the Iron Hands, and Trick Room, right? As I close combat the Tinglu. Right? That should be fine. Then I can just start howling through the team. Because they've got nothing against the Screamtail right now. Like, Heavy Slam, he'll do okay damage. Not significant enough, though. And if they terror the Tinglu, that means they're not terroring the Garganackle, and I'll be able to close combat that for sure. It's going to be a terror this turn. So knowing what they're going to terror is useful. We'll switch out into a Mungus. Because that would be reasonable as well. Into Arcanine. Okay, I'm fine getting a massive chunk on the Arcanine. So wasted terror here. Because I could have saved that. But that's okay. Like, if they brought a Mungus, they didn't bring any damage. So, it should be okay. And if they... yeah, it's just Ulcure. If they didn't bring a Mungus, then I'm in Trick Room now. So, this is perfectly fine. Don't be Citrus. Okay, that's fine. Now, attack the Arcanine. Right? That should be better. Because the Garganack was not a threat. Just start howling. Except the Salt Cure. It's not going to wing quickly enough, I don't think. I hope not. I don't want to say I don't think. I'm going to say I hope not. So they switch hands to Tinglu, that's perfectly acceptable as well. If they want to preserve the Intimidate. If they switch out into Iron Bundle or Roaring Moon, that is also good for me. It's just an Amoonguss switch would not be ideal, but acceptable enough, but then if they have the Amoonguss, they don't have damage. Like, they don't have damage. Where is their damage? I just close combat that Garganacl slot forever, right? I guess I'm -2 on the Iron Hand, so it's probably worth switching that out. Okay. It's going to be a slow game. But a close combat to the Garganacl that turn, it was probably just immediate game over. But I'm saying where's the damage? They can chip me with Salt Cure and all that. So switching to Brute Bonnet on the Pollen Puff, that's not the most ideal thing. But I'm neutral, okay. But they're not going to spore my... They're not going to spawn my Iron Hands this turn, so I'm going to switch that out. I'm going to Howl again. No, I'm going to switch into Brute Bonnet with that, because then if they were sporing, it would have been into the Screamtail slot. Yeah, they haven't brought damage this match, so I need to just out-damage them before they can break through with the Salt Cure. But a close combat to the Garganacl at any point on the previous 2 turns, I'm pretty sure I just won on the spot. But I did not, so I need to get good. Alright, it's timed it so that the Arcanine switches in. It's not ideal, because then they can spore my... Yeah, they can spore that now, but this is still okay, because they're not sporing the Baxcalibur. There's no way. They're pollen puffing it probably. Yeah, that's fine. Shame I don't have Terror available anymore. What's the way around to do it? Because I've been intimidated now. Can switch back into the Iron Hands, but then if they call that and Flare Blitz me as well, that's bad. This might be too passive here. Because they Pollen Puff my Brute Bonnet, that's really bad. But surely you gotta spore the Baxcalibur this turn. Alright, they did switch out, okay. That's Garganacl though. I need to stall out my own trick from here, but I've got a perfectly safe switch into the... they did Pollen Puff, good play. I could have Icicle Speared. Again, that was a... What?! Yeah, I was gonna say, what?! That was too much damage. Right. How many turns left? Just one, okay. So, switch into Iron Hands here. Yeah, that was far too much damage. I'll attempt to Bullet Seed the Garganacl. But yeah, and I'm not playing well enough here, I think. Like, I've had multiple opportunities to just win on the spot. If I Icicle Speared there, Amoonguss is gone and I win. If I close combated in the first 2 turns, yeah, again, they didn't spore. Like, they're outplaying me here. I'm just playing too passive. Like, they didn't bring damage, but I'm letting them do damage. So... What's the right way around to do it? So that's another tick of Salt Cure. Like, I'm letting myself take too much damage. It's got to be Baxcalibur, right? Then there's definitely an Arcanine switching if it's Baxcalibur. Just would it be on the Garganacl slot? It surely can't, because I would just still be able to KO the Amoonguss. And if I do Glaive Rush the Amoonguss and Garganacl stays in, no, then I'll still be close combating it, so it'll still be okay, right? So that should be okay. Okay, it was that one. So I'm taking a big chunk with the Salt Cure now, but at least Arcanine has been dealt with. And if they protect here, that might be better. Or Terror into the Ghost. Yeah, that or Poison. Either works. Yeah, now I think they win with the Garganacle. It's Terror Ghost. Pretty sure they win with the Garganacle now. Yeah, I just haven't played this one very well at all. Multiple opportunities to win I did not take, so that's just on me. Like, and my opponent playing well. And my opponent is outplaying me as well. Yeah, that's too much damage. I can't break the Garganacle anymore. Wasted my opportunities to close combat it. If I attack with Excalibur, it loses, like, it gets KO'd, so don't really think that's the best of options at the moment. Ooh, nope, wrong one. I'll just crit it. That's fine. I've decided I will just crit the Tinglu. That's not much at all. Oh. That is so rude. Like, what? That's so rude. Now I definitely lose. That's so rude. I'm forfeiting this turn. Like, that's so rude. Come on. I mean, it like, Stealth Rocks definitely fits onto Garganacle. Like, you've got that move slot that's free, but come on, that's so rude. I'm not happy that I lost this one. Like that kind of playstyle, I feel like I should be able to break through with this kind of offense. So I'm not happy with that loss. I will have to rethink about that one.